So you've gotten a diagnosis. You're neurodivergent. Now what? So this is a very difficult subject for me because it's hard to say as one neurodivergent person to another that this is going to be your experience and this is what you should do, because we're all incredibly unique. There's a long time saying, if you've met one neurodivergent person, you've met one neurodivergent person. We all have our own challenges. We all have our own needs, our own stimuli. So it's really, really difficult to say this is going to work for everyone. That being said, there's some general things that you can do to help you better understand what you need and how to best meet those needs. So I'm going to be speaking from my own experiences. So if there are lots of other people out there that have lots of different opinions and different techniques, and find someone that has similar experiences and similar diagnoses as you, and follow them and get some ideas from them. For me, let's just talk about what we need. So as a neurodivergent person, knowing that I am different from others, I think differently, I process things differently, I have different ideas, different ways of understanding, and different challenges. What I want to do is, first off, mitigate those challenges. So what does that mean? If I have difficulty, say, being in a large group, I find this would happen to me quite often. I would go to a social event or spend time with colleagues and whatnot after hours, and I would go through, I would say hi to everybody and greet them and be warm and friendly, and then I would go find a corner, and that's where I would stay, because I don't like big crowds. And I don't like big crowds to the point that I can't be in a big crowd. If I'm around a big crowd, I have to be at the edge. I have to have an escape. So you find ways to mitigate those challenges. And by finding ways to mitigate those challenges, you then can control some of the negative aspects. Stuff like high stress levels that are just draining and wear you out for the rest of the day. Sometimes you don't feel like you can't get a lot done because you got to spend a lot of time processing what happened. I find that when I have a lot of meetings during the day and lots of breaks, things that break up my day very quickly, I can't get a lot of thinking done. I can't get a lot of writing done. So in those cases, I step back, I relax, I try to find something that will increase my comfort level and decrease the amount of stress and processing power that I need to do. I find something fun to do. For me, that can be building something. I've built several sheds, lots of working sheds and whatnot, ever since COVID, just to keep me busy. I've built trailers and stuff like that. That's something that's really interesting for me. Building aquariums, building those up and stocking them, getting fish that work together. That's something that's very interesting to me. It's something that gets me away from direct thinking, and then I can let things process in the background. That is one way of mitigating the stresses and whatnot that come with being neurodivergent. So let's talk about the benefits of neurodivergence, because there are quite a few, and they're pretty exciting. One of the benefits that I've found is I've learned to accept people for who they are. That's one benefit of being neurodivergent, is that you're more compassionate, you're more willing to work with other people. And that compassion goes multiple ways. It's not just, oh, I want to make sure everything's good for you, I'm going to soft land you everywhere. It can be talking to somebody straight, saying, hey, you know what? You're in trouble. You've got some problems going on. Let's help mitigate those. Let's find some solutions. But if this isn't going to work for you, you need to find something else. Having those hard conversations. That's something that, being neurodivergent, you understand. You would rather have someone be straight up with you than beat around the bush and say, oh, everything's fine, it's okay, and then it just gets worse. So that is something that's hugely beneficial. I find that I also tend to be very, very focused on very specific things and really dig deep into those, much to the chagrin of people around me. My wife in particular, her eyes kind of glaze over as I start talking about, right now, it's sailing. She gets a little worried, a little concerned, but it's really fascinating to me. There are lots of benefits to having a neurodivergent mind. And those benefits mean that you can be more creative, that you can approach things better, you can be more meticulous. It just depends on the strengths that you have as a neurodivergent person. Routines are very, very useful because they let you know what's coming up. There are no surprises, so therefore you mitigate your stress. And building that routine can help you know what's going to happen next, what the next process is, and stuff like that. And as things around the routine start to fluctuate, so let's say you've got a big project, the project has some very different problems, and you've got to manage that in a new and different way. The routine lets you know that there's a time to think, and there's a time to do, and there's a time for meetings and stuff like that. So you know exactly how you're going to be processing that and working through that problem, because it's all part of the routine. So the key thing for me is, when you are dealing with neurodivergence and when you're dealing with your own diagnosis, you want to spend some time to get to know what it is that works for you, that can help you as a person. What's important is that you understand that you have certain needs, and you find ways to mitigate those needs and meet those needs as part of your survival, safety, and social motivations. Because once you get past those, then you can move on to the next few levels. All right. So again, I hope this is very helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments. I'd love to read them. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and enjoy your learning journey.